And boom. And boom. Wait a minute, what? Hold on. Wait a minute, what? Hold on. Okay. Hello, dear.
Ugh, that house is gross.
Oh, actually, I wanted to get to that corner today. Do that in a bit.
I'm coming out here in my underwear because I left my little shorts upstairs in the bathroom.
That's cute, though.
So make sure you don't show my junk.
Yeah. Zaffa. Thistle Witch. Hey, can you guys hear me? I got some weird message about the mic being used by some other program or something.
Shh.
I want to make sure you guys can hear me. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Huh? Say something. Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna keep inviting people. So, invite your friends, invite your enemies.
Look at, oh my God! Look at all
No,
jasmine.
we're surrounded by
I
jasmine.
want like a huge bush like our neighborhood has.
Yes.
A bush of jasmine.
Yes, you don't want the other huge bush.
No.
Become popular. What's that? I'm already too popular. I don't know, something popped up. Said, become popular.
Huh.
I was any more popular, wouldn't be able to stay home. No, I'm inviting people. Thistle Witch is here, so I'm not going to invite you. Bola, Mystical Mojo, Dad Witch Voodoo, Orums, Edward. So yeah, while I'm inviting people, feel free to invite people. Spiritual hand. Okay. What do you got? Okay, this will be my last round of invites. Let's see, is there anybody that I really need to... Doc. Okay. Uncle Birch coming to you live from New Orleans. How are y'all? Where is the count of people? You can see the lights. The format has changed. I got this is my first live on the iPhone 15 Pro Max. I'm not sure what makes it Pro or Max. The screen's about the same size as my old phone, but the format's a little different, so I can't see. Oh, there you are. Okay, now I see where the people are. Yeah, a lot of the formats on TikTok operate differently on this phone. Hey, Mojo, can you please piss off? Thank you. Mojo needs to piss off. How are y'all? Regina, hey. How are you? Lacey, how are you? Bodaran, Esoteric Woman, Holly. Esoteric Woman again. User 8758, blah, 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 hello. User 659, blah, 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 hello. Got a cat hair on my face, right under my eye, bugging me. I'm one away from 61.3K. Nice. Haven't been there in a while. Happy Saturday. Happy 420 to you. As everything else, if there's something to celebrate, New Orleans is celebrating it. There's parties all over and bands in the park. And, there's a block party a couple blocks over there. Esoteric Woman can't stay for long, taking daughter to birthday party. Well, have fun over there. Yes, it is. My dad's birthday. I remembered to send a text.
My pappy-in-law.
Your pappy-in-law. Vegas is lit as well. Yeah, Mobile, Alabama here. Hey, how are you, Astro Annette? How are you? I should hit the store. Oh, you just go. It's legal there. You just go to the store. I miss those days. But just that part. It was the only part about those days that I miss.
I miss Sasha being at a good school.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, totally legal. Well, you're up in the mountains. You should just be, farming. So I signed up for school. You're in my, which one? 1, 2, or 3? Definitely the cool uncle in the family. Thank you. Astoria 9, how are you? A terrible green thumb. Trying to see which class that person is in. Who was that again? Thistle Witches. Which one did you join? I'm talking about my classes? Because, yeah, level 1, level 2, and level 3 launched for April, and today is the deadline to join. So you got to get over there to gumroad.com/witchschool, WITCHSKEWL. Which class are you in, Thistle Witch? 1, 2, or 3? Because I just launched level 1, level 2, and level 3. Okay. Oh, witchcraft without Wicca. Okay. I don't think I really finished that one. I think there's still some stuff I might add to that one. It's kind of an open set of classes, that one. I'll probably start level 2. Right on. Well, again, thank you. Today's the cutoff for the April classes. So if you want to get into level 1, level 2, level 3 for April, then get the heck over there and do it. What do you think about all this cancel culture and infighting? Well, I hate it. Like I've said recently, Moonrose, if you look at my profile, the reason it says Uncle Birch 9 is that so I can keep track of how many accounts that I've lost. There's also Uncle Birch 8, which is also me, but Uncle Birch 9 took off more, so this is my main account. Uncle Birch 8 is a backup. But, my original account was up in 70,000s, I think 75,000 roughly, when the Christians came for me. And back then it was a lot easier to cancel somebody on TikTok, a little harder these days. So, this channel's been, or this account's been chugging along pretty good. So if you're not following, please follow. Hit that little bell thing so you get notification. And yeah, let's get me to 10,000 likes, because I'm sure we'll talk about some controversial stuff, or have some people in the boxes, and the haters will come to hate. And as long as we're getting more love than we're getting hate, we tend to be okay. Lavola Hair Theater, or Lavola Loves Hair Theater. Hey, Lavola, how are you? M. George, hello. Yes, I love my trees behind me. There's a hackberry. It gets these berries that are edible and they're rather sweet. The dog loves hackberry season. Just scoring food all over the place. Uncle Birch's Saturday Smackdown. Well, I never, planned it that way, but it has, has happened that way pretty often. God damn, got ants on my ankle. These ants move really fast. Can't get rid of them. No, thank you. Oh, you don't want to come in the box? Spelled it wrong, dude. Again, if you want to dox me. Who's that? B-Dog-NX. Oh, I heard that somebody stole his account. It's not Witch with 2 Dogs, that one. That's probably Josh. Chaos Josh. That's all he has. All he can ever do. Mass report. Well, my first ever spell was when I was 13 years old. I wooged a ring to make me attractive to females. And then even though the ring was gone later, And the spell turned out not to be on the ring. That was my first spell. And I remember I did it. We have these things called records. And sometimes there'd be an extra piece of cardboard in there to make, to keep the record from breaking. And that piece of cardboard, I had drawn a big pentagram on it with a magic marker. I don't think we even had Sharpies yet. Magic marker, and that was my altar. It was stashed in my records. I pulled that out, put it down on the table, and then that would be my altar, because I lived, at that time, lived with my mom, and I didn't have my own room, so I had to be very, very sneaky. Faloki, how are you? Not much. Beautiful here. I think it's like somewhere in the 80s. It was 84 earlier when I was out, so a little bit of sweat going on, but it gives us the southern Botox. The humidity and the heat takes like 20 years off your face. And then, I don't know, the iPhone 15's got a really good camera, so I don't know, maybe that'll put 20 years back on my face. Mine was an egg protection for healing. Right on. Not too shabby. About to go live for my business. Right on, right on. I'm gonna hop out and charge my phone. That's something I'm really loving about the goddamn iPhone 15. Oh my god. Great battery. All day. I'm on the phone all day doing shit, and battery's lasting all day. I'm going to bed with like 40% when I plug it back in. I don't know if I have a favorite animal. I love them all. What was I going to
Lions.
say? But the thing I'm going to try and remember not to do this time around is never update my operating system. If you have an iPhone, and they ask you to update your operating system, your battery is going to get worse every time you do that. So I've got it set to automatically do like security updates and that kind of thing. But as far as the your life right now is full of YouTube, which is what? Yeah, I don't know who Beauty Dog Nix is. Oh my god, I can hear the cat howling at the door. Both dogs are out here, right?
I don't know. I opened the door. Mojo tried to come out. And oh, is that a new flower?
Oh my god, that's just today. Oh, I didn't even see that. Oh, that's epic. Yeah. I love the chip noises. Thistle Witch is the Scottish lady that caused problems last time. Oh yeah. No, that's the one that, blame Bree and Wendy, or I don't know. Yeah, I remember that. Okay, who farted? I heard that. I heard that was Trump.
Yeah. That was the first.
That's one of the big stories right now. Yeah. Is Trump.
He's farting in court.
Farting in court. And his lawyers have
his lawyers.
His lawyers are like looking like this all day long.
It smells really bad. They didn't say whether or not you could hear it, but it sounds like you could smell it.
Apparently, people could hear it.
They could hear
because they said one thing said when he falls asleep.
Yeah.
And it's like you don't silent fart when you're asleep. You just let that. You just let that go.
You don't have to tell me.
Oh, don't you act like you don't do it, okay? Yeah, I'm a problem, folks. Keep it rolling. Not a problem for me. As soon as you brought up the story, and I sought out the individuals and sought logic, reason, and evidence, and I don't know where the story originated still, but I'm thinking it was Celtic Hex. That's at least what I'm hearing. Oh wow! So what the hell is Congress doing in session on Saturday? They just passed the Ukraine aid bill.
Maybe
$61 billion.
Maybe when there's something major that's waiting, they'll come in.
Yeah. Orange lost control of his sphincter. God is real. Well, yeah, a long time ago. I mean, he wears a diaper. He likes to talk about Joe Biden's age, but Joe Biden doesn't wear a diaper.
That's what they do. You talk about your flaws about the other person.
Yeah, that's narcissist.
Yep.
Hey, Uncle Birch, blessing to you all. Hey, Mystical Mojo, blessing back at you. Isn't that the TikTok bill? Canceling TikTok, evidently. I I don't know. Now China, I don't know if people follow the news. China banned WhatsApp and Threads yesterday in response to the U.S. trying to, ban TikTok. So, yeah. I don't know if they'll ever get around to canceling TikTok. I got a VPN, so I don't know. I probably won't see a lot of you, but I could still, use TikTok if I want. So yeah, okay. So I got Witch with Two Dogs keeps messaging me. I think that's on my phone right there, and I think that's not you in here because you told me that somebody took your account. Oh, wait, you told me what your new account was going to be, and I forgot. Maybe that's it. Okay, well, text me again if that's you in the live. uh, he hates me so much. Y'all can get in the box, hash it out. Come on. Let's get Witch with Two Dogs and Thistle Witches up in there. Oh shit, somebody wants to get in there already. And it's
Dude,
Thistle
look at
Witch.
her jasmine.
Look at it. I can smell it. It's like perfume.
Absolutely, Uncle Birch. Thank you for the invite.
Yeah, what's going on?
Hold on, I'll turn you up a wee bit. Right. Let's see, can I hear you properly now?
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I can hear you better now. I just need to.
Color is purple.
Yeah, your volume changed when I came up on the box.
Yeah, let's see. Well, we got Thistle Witch. She's rather controversial. Anybody want to get up in the box here?
I'm only controversial, Uncle Birch, right? Because I don't give a fuck.
What tends to make that happen? Yeah.
That's it. Like I don't care what. Like he's been in this live trying to dox me using my married name and like all this kind of stuff, and I'm just like, dude, my name is not a secret. Like you're acting like it's a secret. It's not. And if you're going to use it, you're feeding my transmutes. So keep on using it, dude, because you're just feeding me, baby.
Hey, well, Lavola, well, you probably remember our podcast Widdershins was once called the Jerry Springer of the witchcraft world. And at one point, I had two guys on there that were fighting, and I found the Jerry Springer boxing bell. And you needed one of our sound effects. Yeah, I need that sound. I need sound effects over here on TikTok.
Bring it back. Bring it back.
Somebody just asked to come in, and I invited them. I didn't know who it is. That doesn't tend to work out.
So is he coming up to fight me, or is he just going to hang about like a coward?
I have no idea. There's the other path. Well, see, I got my own version of that. So, three paths met in the woods, and I chose the path that would make the better story. That's made all the difference.
Oh yeah.
We aren't controversial, Uncle Birch. That's why we deal with each other. Well, I don't know. I'm not even sure if I'm not seeing anything from Witch with Two Dogs. He has my phone number. He could text me, and then it pops up on the screen. You're gonna come on live there, Witch with Two Dogs?
Anyway, so I've bought your Witchcraft Without Wicca Part 1, and I'm halfway through it because I kept getting interrupted from my wee boy. And so far, like, it's actually quite interesting. It's interesting for me because you're speaking from an elder American's witchcraft experience, which is something I don't really know much about. You know what I mean? So like all the trials and tribulations that you guys had in order to move forward in your path when you were younger. You know what I mean? It's really quite interesting. It's an eye opener for sure.
Well, thank you. Yeah, Witch with Two Dogs says the only thing to discuss is through the barrister. I don't know what that is. But yeah.
Wait, hold on. Is he threatening legal action? Is that what he's doing? A barrister?
Is that what a barrister is over there?
Yeah, it's some form of high up lawyer. Oh, that's fun.
That would be really difficult to pull off cross-pond legal action.
Yeah, it would cost an absolute fortune, and I know he's not got that kind of money, you know. So I mean that's fine. If he wants to go to a barrister, that's fine. He doxed me first, so
Oh,
crack on, bitch.
where did you first hear the story about Bree and Wendy doing the death curse on Grammy Juice?
It came down my FYP via Celtic Hex, and then it was on YouTube. So I reacted off secondhand information, but going by what I've seen, I absolutely believe that that is what the hints and all that kind of bullshit were pointing towards.
Mm-hmm.
Because we work in a realm where coincidences aren't coincidences. Coincidences are synchronicities.
Well, I don't know if I blocked her or she blocked me, but I don't see Celtic Hex and haven't really missed her. So, did I see Bree's post this morning? I did not. I have to admit, I haven't really scrolled anything on TikTok. I went to look up my latest controversial video and how it was doing on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok, and it really is blowing up the world. So, no, I'm sorry, I was totally self-absorbed this morning. I didn't scroll my FYP.
Was that your one about Sassy Magic or whatever it's called, that shop that you were
Yeah,
talking about?
yeah.
Yeah, that's quite deep.
People been going off on that all night long.
That's
She
quite.
posted that she's leaving TikTok. Really? I'll send her a text. See what's up with that.
Do you know that's not a bad thing if she leaves TikTok just now? Because let's face it, she's done a lot of shit. She's said a lot of shit, and sometimes taking a break from social media is kind of what you need to recenter yourself.
I've never seen her start a whole lot of shit. I've seen her respond to some shit.
I've seen her in a whole load of shit.
Yeah, people keep popping up in the box that want to be invited or wants me to invite them, so I keep inviting them. Corporate hermeticist, hello. I don't know. Maybe it's not people asking that keep popping up in this box. Things, it's weird. It's just a different phone, but the interface is so different on this phone. So there's options that the vet. Okay, hopefully your critters are good. Wishing them well. Hopefully it's just a checkup or something. What video? I'll have to find it. I'm going to be gonna have to put somebody in a coffin box. It was probably my last video that I did, I believe. No, I think the last one I did was responding to Swamp, but Swamp's a snowflake, and Matt reported it and didn't win the appeal on that one.
The two of you fighting and going backwards and forwards is so entertaining, I'm not gonna lie.
You know, don't hate the player, hate the game. That's the game here on TikTok.
Yeah.
If I have to play the game, I'll play the game. This is what the people want. They want controversy. As soon as we start getting controversy and get somebody else up here in the box, our ratings will suddenly go up. That's what the people want. I heard plenty of people say, Uncle Birch just likes drama. It's just like, no, Uncle Birch really wants to fucking teach witchcraft. And that's all Uncle Birch wants. But I definitely can engage in drama. If that's the order of the day, then that's what we're going to do.
Yeah,
As soon as you people out here on TikTok want to do some, or on Witch Talk, want to do something decent with our time, then great. We can all like learn stuff and teach each other stuff and have a good old time like we're doing over there at the Unholy Blends social media site, which you can find at unholyblends.com, where me and Aunt Marta are the moderators. So far, nobody's mass reporting. Everybody's getting along. Everybody's making friends, and we're all learning stuff from each other, which is what we should be doing with this platform, with all platforms. Our people, if we are a people, spent hundreds, if not thousands of years being suppressed, having our books burned. This is where the original book burnings came from. It was our books being burned, not being able to be in contact with each other, having to skulk around in secret so we didn't end up unalive. And we get the internet. We get the ability for pagans to communicate with each other all over the world in a safe space. And this is what we did with it.
Yep.
This is what we did with it. We were wiping crap all over the goddamn walls. That's what we did with it.
I was
Waste.
having that conversation earlier on actually. That if all the minds of Witch Talk just put their fucking skills and their magic together with all their energy, they could actually have a really positive impact on the planet. Not just the planet, but the bullshit that's happening in it just now. Maybe, if we actually just worked together, we could stop some of the people dying over in the other side of the world. You know what I mean? I'm not saying we could, but it's
Well,
possible. Look at Gardner with his cone of power. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And that leads me to an excellent point. Before the internet existed, there was a thing called the BBS systems, and it operated very much like the internet, but we didn't have a www yet. Basically, private computers in private homes, and you'd post and you'd email. All the stuff that we know now was all text, no graphics. And at midnight, this computer would call that computer through a phone. Dial up was all we had. Exchange information. Then it'd be another one to exchange information. We had a thing called the Pagan Information Network. It had, I think, 20 different hops in the United States, 2 into Ireland, and 4 into England. Now, if you emailed or even a post to Ireland or England, it took a week to get there because at one hop each night at midnight from this computer to that computer. So it was very slow. Snail mail moved faster than email back then. But we didn't do this shit. We recognize, oh my God, our people are on the forefront of this information technology that's going to take over the world soon. And we used that shit. And right when I started getting involved in that, I had a student come in and he had created the Pagan Information Network. And he forced it on me. He gave me a dumb terminal and a modem and programmed the phone number for that the Pagan Information Network into the thing. I had no idea. And the whole time I'm telling him, look, I'm a pagan. I like dirt and rocks and plants and shit. I don't care about your technology shit, your geeky crap. Just stop it. But he was a student of mine. I had not listened to him. He had created this incredible thing. And I would not listen to him until he forced it on me and popped it in my house. Now, about a week later, the Gulf War happened. The first one, I think it was Desert Shield. I think it was Desert Shield. The first Gulf War happened. And somebody popped up over in England and said, hey, Gardner did this thing one time to stop a war, to stop Hitler from, reaching the British Isles. And my coven is going to do a ritual based on that ritual to stop this war. Will anybody join me? Everybody joined. Every coven, every individual on that, everybody was going to be doing this spell at the same time, on the same day, to stop a war. Exactly what you're talking about, uniting all of us through this incredible mechanism that would become even bigger. But then the argument over the statement of intent came up. What is the actual statement of intent that we're going to use? And then we went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, until finally the statement of intent got boiled down: end the war quickly, or end the Gulf War quickly. So mote it be. That was the entire statement of intent. Now, if anybody follows history, the war ended quickly. It was about a week or two. It was over. But the bombings, the missile strikes, the no-fly zones, these starving and unalived children continued until the next war. The war had been declared over, but the atrocities that really was the problem, those continued. So a success, but a learning moment to really work hard on your statement of intent. Our statement of intent was weak. It did end, but then all the shit that we didn't like still continued until the next Gulf War and the next Gulf War, until finally, they find
I done a
Saddam Hussein.
video. So I done a video yesterday because I was just like I was sitting and I was thinking about all of this stuff and how people aren't using their energy to help the situation that's going on. So I'm trying to like figure out ways of trying to like put everybody onto that path. Like you are fighting yourselves when you could be fighting the rest of the world to make it a better place. So I did the video was something along the lines of in 1969 Woodstock happened. And at the same time as Woodstock was happening, with that mass awakening, the Vietnam War was happening. Is it a coincidence? The question I posed was, is it a coincidence that we have went through a mass spiritual awakening with witches and spiritualists all over the world over the last 5 years, and now we're on the precipice of World War III? I don't think it is a coincidence.
No, no, and I know astrologers have argued when we entered the age of Aquarius, and some argue that we haven't entered it yet. But
Yeah.
I think it was around that time. Definitely, upheaval in the world came about. And I think let's see, 69, 7, 8. I was 4. I was 4, but
Not quite taking the world by storm then.
Uncle Blessing, Marta Blessing, Saturn Day Blessing. Yes, and happy 420. So you're in Scotland. Thistle Witch. Yeah, that's a no-brainer. You
Yeah.
guys. Okay. Where about?
So I'm in the capital. But fun fact actually is that my husband,
Do you think
Mr. K,
Americans know the capital? What's the capital?
Edinburgh.
Okay, Edinburgh.
Edinburgh. Sorry. So my husband, Mr. Cave, since everybody seems to be doxing me just now, I'll just do it myself. He actually wrote and released a song called Thistle Witch the other day there, and it's on TikTok. So everybody can use it if they choose not to. If they hate me and they want to kind of try and take ownership of it, crack the fuck on. If you like me, crack the fuck on. Just fucking, it's there. It's good.
So you've
Sorry.
got a song.
Yeah, my coven has a song.
Huh. God, I put a song on TikTok one time. I don't know what happened. I forgot what song it was.
Find it. That sounds quite interesting.
Hey, if anybody wants to come in the box, hit that little thing down there. It keeps suggesting people over here, and I keep inviting you, thinking that you asked to come in the box. So if you got an invite and you didn't know why, that's why. I thought she said castle.
Oh, Mrs. B, if I lived in a castle, I would pull my hair out. Can you imagine the cleaning in a castle? Fuck that shit. Nope.
Well, I definitely have a lot of Scottish and Irish. Pretty much, I have everything but Native American and Asian. I'm a mutt.
So me myself, I'm a McDonald. I'm an Argyle McDonald. So my line leads back to the Norseman Somerled, the big guy that came over and took the west side of Scotland. So I did. So yeah.
All
So if you
right.
wonder why I fight so much, you know what I mean? It's because I'm Scottish and I've got Norse ancestry. So fucking, aye, there you have it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't realize Scotland was behind Hadrian's Wall.
For a reason. For a reason.
Did Old MacDonald have a farm?
Well, McDonald had
And
a
you cattle. That's one of my witches. So it is. She's a thistle. There's quite a few thistles in here, Uncle Birch. My coven has came to say hi. Say hey everybody, hey.
It's the Thistle Coven or what?
Yeah.
Or just Thistle or
So it's just thistle witches.
okay.
Or yeah. So yeah. There's like I don't know how many of us is there. There's like 10 of us, 11, maybe 12.
Big enough for a coven. That's
Yeah. We've got witches from all over the world. So we have.
well, some people don't understand the wisdom of our ancestors. Covens were traditionally 5 to 13 people,
Yep.
and it's cut off at 13 people. And when you have a group that small, this kind of crap doesn't tend to happen. Power struggles, politics, these kinds of things, inner battling between people doesn't tend to happen in smaller groups.
Yeah.
Also, um, during the times of persecution, it was kind of like a guerrilla warfare kind of idea. Like the Men in Black actually was a thing. It was not, alien stuff like the movie, but the way it's told, you had your coven, 13 people, another coven, 13 people, another coven over here, all in the same tradition, but they all break off into smaller covens. And they couldn't, during the times of persecution, you couldn't come together, couldn't have any festivals. So the way they communicated was by hand delivered messengers from this coven to that coven, and that coven to this coven, around and around and around. And they were called the Men in Black, and they're men, and they dressed in black because they were wandering around at night carrying secret messages to the different covens.
That's cool. That's really cool. Yeah. So like we use like the internet and stuff like that. See for like festivals, we'll have like we fire mini fire festivals because we're all over the world. Our most recent witch is actually from Hungary. Um, she's lovely. Um, but like because obviously we've got witches in New Zealand and America, Hungary, we've got witches down in England that are originally from like the Netherlands, we've got witches in Scotland. Because of that, because of the way that geography is, we have to utilize the power of the interweb to be able to do the things that we do, and it's really cool because there's a polarity there, so there is between energy exchanges in regards to land and stuff like that. So if you have like a big working, you've got witches on the other side of the world that are able to bolster with the energy from their own land, which is really quite cool the way that it works. Like I'm blessed. I'm absolutely blessed to have the men and women around me the way that I do. Hmm.
Absolutely. Well, as you were talking, you kept naming off all these places, and I'm going, God, you know what? I have students in all of those places, and that's kind of why I do my classes the way I do, rather than have like a Zoom live class. Is the time zone? Getting enough of those people in the same time zone is just
Yeah.
impossible. Like when I was at WitchCon, I remember somebody. God, I think they were like in Norway or something.
Mhm.
Like it was like 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
They
Yes.
were in my class, man. They woke up at 3 in the morning to take the class.
That's dedication. You wouldn't catch me getting out of bed for at 3 in the morning for a class. But at the same time, like the witches
Like
that
you
I
don't
have,
really even have together.
they're all on different levels, so they are.
Yeah.
But each of them are just as valuable. Like they all bring something unique to the group, and I don't know, it works. There isn't a hierarchy. I don't say there's a hierarchy. They all call me mummy, right? Like I don't I don't see that there's a hierarchy, but you'd need to speak to them. They call me Wikipedia because, like you, I know shit. You know.
People don't like the word, but it is a natural human condition.
Yeah.
There are leaders and there are followers, and that's going to happen in every group. And one of my main things, like when we would pick somebody to lead a group, a committee, or a ritual, I would ask for volunteers and look for whose hands did not go up.
Yeah.
That's the person I want. The person that immediately wants to be in charge of a bunch of people,
Yep.
probably going to be a control freak.
Yes.
Doesn't tend to work out. So,
I'm
but
constantly fighting them.
things happen. And
Like,
then there's like certain individuals in my groups. I will watch, and they will have a ritual, and everybody will hang out. And there's always one person or a couple people that people seek out with their questions or if they need advice.
yeah,
That is because subconsciously we recognize who the leaders are. And so I watch for those people. It's like that person's already a leader. I just need to train them a little bit and teach them, how to lead.
yeah.
Um, there are born leaders, and some,
I
can be
don't see
taught.
myself. I don't see myself as a leader, and they'll all tell you I fought them so hard for so long because like I was just the person that put the group together. Like that was it. You know what I mean? I just gave us that space to be. And like I don't know. Yeah, I
Do
just kind
people
of
do people
fell into
seek
it. I
your
guess
counsel?
it's so weird.
Do people seek your counsel?
Always, every day, every damn day. They don't fucking shut up. Didn't yous know where I yous? I can see yous. Yous don't shut up.
So maybe you got to accept it. That's exactly the kind of person I'm talking
I have accepted it now. It was really difficult for me too because after everything that I'd been through on here, I mean, and continuously go through, I didn't want to accept it, and I didn't want to have that level of responsibility.
about.
Um, but I guess what's for you won't go by you. You know what I mean? If you're meant to be in that role, you're meant to be in that role. And I have recently accepted it. It was a struggle. It was a struggle, you know.
Well, like God, the crows are really going off.
I know they
I
love
guess
it.
I guess they like what you're saying. Um, what was I going to say about that? The person, the people that don't want to be leader, those tend to be the best leaders. Like, I never wanted that. I never wanted this, but yet I was raised to do that. Immediately, from 13 years old, they're raising me to be a priest, raising me to run things. Never wanted that. Always resisted that. Um, Still consider myself an anarchist, and that was the hardest thing to wrap my head around. It's like, look, you can't make everybody be leaders.
Yeah.
It's not going to work. I mean, but that's anarchy. But that's not going to work. That's not really how human dynamics function. There are people that lead, and there are people that need somebody to tell them what to do.
Yeah.
I wish I could make everybody a leader, but it is not.
Yeah.
That's what
I get,
everybody's talking about the crows.
I hear what you're saying.
Anybody else want to come up in the box? You got something to talk about? You know, controversy or not?
I tried running for my destiny looks. It caught up with me. So you're absolutely right there.
Just a hello from a poppet. Hello, poppet.
I think that's Penny.
Could oh
Penny
Penny
Poppet.
Pop Penny Poppet has really made it on my radar lately. Maybe that is. Let's see. Trapper.
We met
Are you
her at
Penny
WitchCon
Poppet?
one night.
Mm-hmm. 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 But been on my radar a lot lately. Lola Nixes. We're doing good. How are you? It's like yeah, it's probably like 84, 85, somewhere around there in New Orleans. It's just beautiful weather, and clearly the crows are loving it.
We have spring for longer than 2 weeks.
Marta knows. Okay. Hey, hello, puppet.
Right, on that, Uncle Birch, I am going to pop down just now. So I'm going to go and watch. I am addicted to The Handmaid's Tale. I fought myself for 5 years to not watch it, put it on the other day there, and I'm totally addicted.
I'm still fighting it. I'm still fighting. I watched the movie.
It's so good.
I know. I don't even really think I have Netflix right now. It's like paying for it for a year that we hadn't watched anything. So I just said, oh, no, fuck it.
Well, it's on Amazon Prime, so it is.
I have
And
that.
I thought it was going to be like some form of Pride and Prejudice bullshit, and it's so not that. It's just fucking unreal. It's so good. Anyway, I'm going to go. Thank you for having me, and thank you to the wife as well for having me too.
Okay. Those would be.
Appreciate you. Bye.
Uncle Birch, coming to you live from New Orleans with Aunt Marta in the background, of course. Um, she's not fully dressed right now, so she's not going to be on camera.
I could put my shorts on.
Whatever you want to do. I mean, there's not really a whole lot going on here. We'll see if somebody can make something go on, if somebody wants to get in a
I'll
box
just
or
stay
something
here.
like that.
They know what I look like.
What's your opinion on necromancy? Tricky business. I mean, I'm a Polero, and the entire tradition of Palo is necromancy. So technically, I'm a necromancer. I guess that's my opinion. But it's definitely not for the faint of heart. It's not a safe space. But as I've said a million times, witchcraft has no safe space. Witchcraft is not a safe space. Those of you pining for safe spaces all the time should probably go do something else. It's for the bold. It's not for the timid. You have to be bold enough to stand at the gates between worlds and scream your witch name across the void, demanding recognition from anything that will come. It's not for the timid. Mediumship is a necromancy tool. Yeah, I would say that. Again, I don't talk about Palo much, but in Palo, people actually get ridden. But before you can get initiated, somebody gets possessed, and with that deity, you're a priest pretty much, and you meet them. You have a discussion about a whole bunch of shit. I will seal the veil at this point and not talk about that anymore. I don't talk about that tradition. Witch name question: can you choose your own? You have to follow a formula. Yes, you can choose your own. I chose Birch, and I've had several craft names, but in my first job at a public witch store before I opened my own, we had to have a magical name, which would be the only name we would be known by in the store. Now I looked at my past and how one day I wandered into a witch store, and that day changed my life to this day. That day set me on the path that I'm on to this day. I had figured out what I would do for the rest of my life at 13 years old. It's a very important position, working in an actual witch store, not like Sassy Magic or anything. But it's an important position. People would be coming to me, and I would be changing their lives. I would be sending them on paths. I had no active covens at the time. I was not teaching in that town at the time. So I needed to know all of the main players, all of the covens, all of the traditions in the town. So when somebody came to me looking for their path, I would be able to send them down the right path. So I chose the name Birch. Birch is the first tree in the Druidic alphabet of trees. It is the gateway to the other world. It is the door to the other world. I chose the name Birch. Now, I was an activist, and I was known by the name Phil Free. And I was older than all these college kids and stuff that I was hanging out with, so eventually they called me Uncle Phil.
You're such a creepy old man.
And then that somehow got transferred over to Birch, and people started calling me Uncle Birch. And it just took off on its own. I chose Birch. They chose Uncle. Now still Uncle Birch. Take great care in choosing your witch name. I recommend not choosing a name that has an association with some other character, some god or goddess. You go ask the people who name themselves Persephone how things go for them in late October. That kind of shit. I named a cat Lilith once. That was the most horrific cat I ever knew, and it cost me $3,000 in surgery because it got something stuck in its intestine or something like that. So even like cats, dogs, I don't name them after existing things. We did name one of our cats Sabo after Sabo Kitty, which is the cat depicted in 1900s Union propaganda after the Union had destroyed a piece of equipment on the job, i.e. sabotage. Sabo Kitty, and then they would paint Sabo Kitty on the wall of the place. They destroyed the machine. I named that cat Sabo based on that, and lucky for us, he was a gem. He was a gem. Sabo never sabotaged anything, never fucked anything up.
He never jumped on counters.
He never even jumped
But
on
look
counters.
at these freaks
Yeah,
now.
the cats we have now, fucking, they're up in the rafters on the counters, all over the damn thing.
He was
So-
a really good cat.
So be cautious of choosing names that have a persona or a history or a storyline connected to them, because you have just connected yourself to that storyline. So again, the classic example is all the goth witches, usually girls, that name themselves Persephone. They go through a really dark time around the 31st of October. Now we have trains. That makes sense. Okay, hopefully, I forgot who I was talking to, but hopefully that was you. Partners home, later birches. See ya, Trapper. See ya, Poppet. My kitty goes by Kimchi. Nice. Yeah, but I learned that probably better with cats. Hey, Oscar, that's got to be you. Hey, how are you? Salute. I'm sorry, somebody was liking a post somewhere. Uncle Birch coming to you live from New Orleans. I should remind people that today is the last day that you can sign up for Witchcraft Level 1, Level 2, or Level 3 at gumroad.com/witch school, which is, of course, WITCHSKEWL. Or you can go into my profile, go to my link tree, hit classes, and you get over there. But today's the cutoff day. Classes filling up. Only so many I can take over there. So get on over there. Sign up today. Crone wants to come on. Okay. I know Crone, I believe. Hello, Crone.
Hello, Uncle Birch. How are you?
Good. How's it going?
I'm good, thank you. You were
Okay.
when you're talking about names and naming things, people forget that all words have power. Names especially.
Yes.
So if you are taking an existing god or goddess or event and incorporating that into your name, that can be rather troublesome.
Problematic.
Definitely, most definitely.
Words are spells. Absolutely.
Correct.
That's why I teach, control your mind and then control your mouth. You got to watch the words that you let come out of your mouth when you start doing magic. You've got to control the words you allow to exist in your head when you start doing magic. You can get over there to YouTube and watch Mind Control 101 and 101.2 and 101.3. Somebody else wants to come in the box. All right, let's get some people in the box. Oh, the villain. The villain who's all over our social media site, unholyblends.com. You were probably one of our biggest contributors over there. Hello.
Hey, Birch.
Hi. How's it
So
going?
good. I have to say something about the whole naming of the Persephone issue. I do actually share a namesake with her, and yeah, the whole dark life thing is a. Oh, if I told you about my childhood, yeah.
Yeah. Cuban Synergy. Hey, how are you? Well, and that reminds me, in Palo, my name was chosen for me. And the first word in my name in Palo is Yaya. So that's interesting. I'm not going to tell you the whole name. But I was scratched to Madre de Agua. So part of my name incorporates her name into my name. It's a Palo thing, right? Right. That's all I'm going to say about that. I want to gossip, so you ain't heard it from me, right?
So how are the plants going?
Oh, we're doing good. There's still a lot of stuff to plant.
Our
Um,
yard looks like a
yeah,
tornado
but
went
but but
through
you
it.
see the pile? I'm working on it. I'm working on it, cleaning
Okay.
this shit up. There's a lot. The winter was winter here. A lot of shit died. I had to like cut back a lot of dead stuff.
Look, we have flora growing
Yeah.
out of our bricks.
And this, I think, is the Biden Pelosi came back.
No, look at the
Oh,
stuff
I know, I
growing
know.
out.
I need to
I'm more
pull those.
concerned with the stuff that's
Yeah,
ruining
I
our
need to pull
bricks.
those out of there, especially because that's deadly nightshade
And
right
it's
there.
bringing the bricks up.
Yeah. Why don't it's the tree that's bringing the bricks up? It's the trees making it so they can grow through the bricks. Yeah. So plants are growing everywhere, basically, even
Rub it
plants
in.
we
We
don't
got
want.
snow last night.
Oh,
Snow,
we're like 80, 85 now or something right
83
now.
today.
83, it was
I just
84
checked.
earlier.
Oh, maybe it was 84.
Okay.
It's
Whatever it is.
28 up here.
20. Where are you at?
Wisconsin.
Uh, damn, 28. That's like that's winter here. It's about a week long.
And it's like
And
the
we'll
dark
get it's
times.
like the dark time, and we have to bring in all the plants that we can, cover all the plants we can, but a lot of stuff still didn't survive, and it's growing back.
Drag the electric blanket out.
Yeah,
Uh,
Yeah,
Oscar's always good.
the
I
coldest in
currently have a
Chicago is about 50 below zero.
Ah,
Oh my God, what? I can't conceive of
I
it.
can't conceive of
It's
that.
We
a
lived
thing.
at a place that snowed like one time. Um, it snowed maybe three times we were there. I was able to make a snowman about yay big. Um, Here last year we got icicles. That was the first time we got some freezing rain. It
It doesn't
almost
snow
snowed.
though. Yeah.
It could have snowed. Um, the, the the margin between freezing rain and snow is just a little bit of humidity.
This
Yeah,
year
that's
we were very,
terrible. No shit.
very low on snow, so hopefully it rains a lot this spring. So,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
we can get anywhere from a couple inches to feet of snow, and it stays.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I've never lived a place like that.
Mother Nature, for some odd reason, is on crack over here in Illinois. I have my garden down here in my basement right now. My cilantro is doing beautifully, and a couple of other herb plants are also garlic. Well, that just sprouted on its own. I said, fuck it, and put it into a pot of soil and said, I'm just going
Well,
to grow this.
we have an indoor thing. It's called Garden with a Y. It's a smart hydroponic garden that Marta got for like lettuces and so
Herbs.
it's like cilantro. We got cilantro
Yeah.
growing in there.
Mint,
We got mint. We got
basil.
basil. Dill. No, we got basil out here. We
We
got
have lettuce.
oh, do we? Okay, we
Purple
got dill
basil.
growing in there. So we got kind of an indoor garden and an outdoor garden. And there's been other stuff that I have been able to grow in that garden that's not really um, from the company.
I wish I could grow shit. Everything I grow, my mom had a green thumb, bless her heart, when she was here, but everything I touch dies. I don't know. I just can't grow shit. I buy my shit from the store.
Well, here in New Orleans, we've had, it's been a curve, when the rainy season happens the way it's supposed to, a lot of plants get drowned. And then after they get drowned, they get burned by the too much sun. So we've been figuring out, what we can grow here, what we can't grow here. And then other stuff, we just kind of take care of stuff that decides to grow here.
I
Like
feel that.
the Biden Pelosi plant over here.
I agree. I get that.
That's actually like the name of the plant. And it's got like little, it almost looks like daisies. So like it gets flowers. Okay, we grow it. And we had this plant sprout up, and it looked really great and lush. And so I watered it, and then it turned out to be a night blooming jasmine, which is a wild plant here that just blows on the air, and it's coming back. So some of the plants we just started like, okay, well this wants to grow here. Let's just take care of that, rather than planting something that does
That's
not
like
want to.
my wisteria that grows all in my yard. I'm like, I'm not touching it, but I just hope it stays.
Yeah, absolutely.
gardening. Oh,
We're
excited to be here. Okay, cool.
Spiritually
spiritually.
Southern Mama. Hi, how you doing? My mama was up here, so I decided to come up here and say hi.
Where you at?
I'm in Alabama, so middle of fucking nowhere. Um,
Okay. Our neighbors today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, my
I
dear.
love going to New Orleans. That's about 4 hours for me. Going and getting a beignet with a cup of coffee. Hey.
I still like the fact that I can just walk around drinking.
Hey, look, I feel that.
That's my favorite part.
You're in
Just
New
walk,
Orleans, not Wisconsin.
walking around sipping a drink.
Well, I actually got blueberries and strawberries to sprout.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I've got watermelon and rhubarb, so we're gonna have very good pies for dessert.
Yeah.
Yum.
I think we have strawberries growing in the indoor garden. I don't know if they've sprouted yet. That thing's interesting. And like, it's on the internet. It waters itself. The lights run on a timer. It's got cameras. Like if I'm away, I can look at my plants on the camera.
Oh yeah,
Never
I thought
really,
that thing
never
was
really used
awesome.
that
I
one.
actually looked it up and holy crap.
Oh, you looked up? Yeah, it's not cheap.
No, oh my god. That that is like years down the line if I ever want to get something like
Yeah.
that.
I was ready to get rabbits
It
too.
was during lockdown, so Marta was like trying to find ways to become self-sufficient. Yeah, she was thinking about rabbits, thinking about goats.
Go, go, go.
Goats are
Hazzy, come here.
Yeah,
Come
I
here,
tried
dog.
talking my husband into getting a baby cow. He looked at me and said, "Hell no."
Well, don't like to get milk. Doesn't that cow have to like be pregnant or something?
Yeah, not only that, but you got to pasteurize the milk and everything. But it's great manure for gardening and stuff. So, but I actually there's a farmer that is local close by that does horse manure. I'm going to get a couple buckets of that for my garden.
Nice.
yeah. In order to get milk from a heifer, it has to be bred, and then it'll start lactating 2 weeks after it gives birth, and then you can milk it for 12 months before you have to rebreed.
Huh.
And I'm just the one that goes and gets milk from the store. So
Me too. Me too. Well, actually, lately, couple times now, I've gone to the Dollar General for groceries. Just like a few things, that they carry that I'll pick up. That's like $5 less than at the grocery store.
I
So
feel that.
it's like the same product I buy over at the regular grocery store.
Hey, listen, go to your local Dollar General for everything you can. That's all I'm saying.
Grocery prices have just been nuts for the longest time, and it's not right.
No,
Um,
it's not.
the economy is actually booming. We beat China for the first time ever as far as economy, but yet grocery prices and other things that people are just jacking them up for no reason. There's no supply chain issues right now.
Oh,
There's no reason for that. There's no reason for the prices that we're paying, except that they can get away with jacking the prices up.
And yet Congress can only agree on banning TikTok.
right.
Yes, well. One thing I will say is, I actually like the fact that they spent all their time fighting amongst each other rather than doing anything towards their evil agenda, their hateful agenda. There's stuff we need to accomplish, like Ukraine aid just got passed while I was live here, um, stuff like that. But now they're talking about vacating the speaker again. And I saw the story today. There's two moderate Republicans that say if they initiate the removal of the speaker, Mike Johnson, I don't like him, but he's he's got more he's got more honor than all of the rest of them. I hate his religious beliefs and the fact that he uses those to govern. But if they start the process to remove him, two moderate Republicans say they're going to resign outright. And then Hakeem Jeffries becomes the Speaker of the House. So, fuck around. Find out.
Hey,
Marjorie,
look.
Moscow Marge.
The world is on fire, but kindness is free. Like, that's the best I got.
Yeah.
Well, in my opinion, and let's just, it's my opinion. Would it be so bad if all of them just retired?
No.
All I'm saying is if they all just lit up a joint collectively at the same time.
I'm sure it's legal around there somewhere.
There's somewhere, even if it ain't, go in the back room. It ain't like y'all ain't blowing shit up your nose back there. Just light up a joint.
Just instead of hitting the blow, hit the green.
Right? It'll
I'm
make
just
y'all
saying.
happier and maybe y'all get something done. Shit, our tax dollars already pay for your vacation. Make it do something.
Just, pack a pipe, have some Doritos, drink some Mountain Dew, and just chill the F out, dudes. Just saying.
Just saying.
Good. Oh, I got to put it in the fridge. You haven't finished the champagne.
Mercury
thought-
retrograde is working actively. Gotta love Aries, man.
I'll check. I thought there was more.
You told me it was done.
Martha, you have champagne and you have not offered us some? Thank you, ma'am.
I think
I'm
it's the
pretty
tail
sure
end
I'm
of the
out.
bottle, but
No, I think you told me last night that was it.
okay.
I'm a whiskey girl myself, but
Uncle
bubbly.
Birch, go get that woman some champagne.
Y'all,
Finale of RuPaul's Drag Race.
talk amongst
tomorrow,
yourselves.
yesterday.
We're just mad we don't have any champagne.
I could care less about the champagne. Now, if he had to say crown, that would have been different.
Well, I do have some shine in the fridge. It's chilling.
I got cider in the fridge right now, and I'm half tempted to crack one open because I gotta go nowhere today.
Rock on, girl. Rock on.
Oh, by the way,
Thank
for
you,
everybody in the
Incognito.
chat, happy 420 for those who partake.
Oh,
Yay.
happy 420! Did you leave out cookies for Willie Nelson or Snoop Dogg?
No, I left out a good old fashioned joint like I like.
Oh,
I don't
Yeah,
even
I got-
partake,
I
but
got
that was
my green.
hilarious.
Lord.
ooh.
Oh my god.
So, how are you ladies doing today?
I'm laughing at my FYP because Witch Talk's on fire and it makes me giggle.
Yeah,
I'm ignoring adult responsibilities.
I have been actively avoiding that situation. I've had friends who are like, "Stay the fuck out of it." I'm like, "Okay."
I don't know what the situation is, and I'm so motherfucking glad I don't. I just know my FYP is filled with people saying, y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. And I'm like, thank God it ain't me. Mercury retrograde strikes again.
Who did what?
I don't know. I was talking about how the Mercury retrograde has been lighting Witch Talk on fire because it's in Aries. I said it was going to a month ago, and here we are. And I've just been seeing shit on my FYP. I don't know what's going on. I don't care to know. I don't care who did what. It's all the same damn people, and it's always the same damn shit. But somebody's upset, and people should be ashamed of themselves. And I was just laughing about it because it showed up on my FYP today. That's all.
Yeah, it's happening in real life too. Here in New Orleans, like I spent a lot of my day yesterday and today, addressing drama that's happening around here, and then of course on Witch Talk. So yeah, Mercury retrograde in Aries, that would make sense.
Yeah, we had a solar eclipse on the new moon too. That's why this Mercury retrograde is especially intense. But it's ending on the 25th of April, and we have a full moon in Scorpio on the 23rd. That's going to be really shining some light on everything we've been going through and why we've been going through it. Because that's been the big kicker. Nobody's like, why the fuck is this shit happening, right? Because Aries is super impulsive and doesn't really think to explain the decision they're making before they do it. We love Aries energy, right? However, Comma Scorpio, on the other hand, is the slow and methodical one, so it's going to be telling everybody why the fuck everything's going fucking crazy. You're welcome. Sky Mommy loves y'all.
Well, for those of you that are new around here, or maybe you didn't see it, but one of my pinned videos at the top of my videos is the sigil for navigating Mercury retrograde. It does not have to be Satan in your world if you learn how to navigate it.
Actually, the Mars retrogrades are so much worse. And if you've never experienced a Uranus retrograde in your personal placements, it makes like Mercury look like a baby.
Well, how many that takes like decades, right?
Well,
I-
Uranus retrogrades happen every year, right? But Uranus, okay, so Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto are what we consider outer planets, right? So they're more generational. They're going to be more what you see on a societal scale as a whole, right? So Uranus retrogrades happen.
Yeah.
So that Mercury retrograde. I blame everything on the retrograde, even shit like that. But anyway, like I was saying, so these outer planets affect our lives, right? And they go retrograde once a year because of the way their axis spins. It looks like it's spinning backwards because for us, we're the fastest ones. We go 24 hours for a night cycle, but it takes us 365 days to get around the sun. Mercury, for example, takes 59 days to get a full night and day axis, which is why we have a retrograde about every 3 months, because that's when we can see the shadow of it spinning on its day and night axis. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we have a Uranus retrograde. We will have an outer planet retrograde roughly at around the same time every year. It moves forward a little bit because, we tilt on our axis and things move differently. But yeah, Uranus retrogrades happen every year. It's only when they conjunct one of your big six. Now that takes fucking forever, like 20 something years, like you said. But once it gets to some of your more personal placements, like your Mars placement or your Mercury placement, then that's when you'll start seeing those effects of those outer planet retrogrades come at you in a more personal way.
Mhm. That makes sense.
I'm the queen of keeping astrology simple. It's what I do. It's what I live for.
Well, the world needs that because it's complicated. Marta keeps astrology simple for me. She explains it to me. She tells me where my chart is. I don't know.
That's so good. I'm glad you have somebody like that in your life. Everybody needs that person.
If she was right, she finished the champagne.
Yeah, my husband, he actually, we're building an altar together for Dionysus, and he spray painted it this beautiful royal purple, and it's a old ammo box from the army.
Oh, nice.
Yes, it's made out of pine, which is really funny and coincidental. So,
Wait a minute. The ammo box is made out of pine?
yep,
What war was that? Like Civil War?
I have
I'm
no
thinking ammo
idea.
box. I'm thinking metal.
I have no idea, but it's nice to have. I guess.
That seems cool as shit, though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's huge. So.
Y'all are welcome for the explanation, and sidereal astrology is really interesting. I stay away from the Vedic side of it because that's Hindu, and I'm a firm believer if you can't speak the language, you have no business fucking practicing it. If you can't pronounce the words in the practice, you leave it the fuck alone, and my ass is white.
Sidereal astrology follows the same terms, but it's not necessarily derived from Hindu astrology.
I don't know.
I agree, and they base sidereal more in Vedic astrology. So for me, I read the sidereal chart as if I'm looking at the chart in the sky, because actually the planets in the sky in correlation to where they are in tropical astrology is a month ahead. And that's because the mind goes before the body, right? The Greeks were all about that shit. So that's why I'll use the sidereal chart. What I'm saying is I stay away from the Vedic aspects that influence the sidereal chart. And I just look at it like, okay, so the sun is actually still in fucking Aries, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. When I first heard about sidereal, we had technology. I had the star map on my phone.
The guy who introduced us to sidereal astrology, his birthday is May 8th, and he calls himself Aries.
Yeah, that's because in sidereal astrology, on the time that May 5th was, the sun was probably still in Aries. In tropical astrology, though, he would be a Taurus.
Yep. So like I could see it with my phone. It's like, okay, the moon is supposed to be in this time, and I can see it on the star map. It's not. But then I look at sidereal, it's like, oh, that's right where it's supposed to be.
Right? A lot of people with this eclipse, and people were coming at it like with that gotcha moment sort of thing of, oh my God, the sun is in Pisces and the moon is in Virgo. This eclipse isn't real. Yeah, it is. We go a month ahead in tropical astrology. But also, if you look at where the sun and the moon are during eclipses, they'll always be for the ones ahead. That's because the North Node and South Node in January 12th of 2025 will be moving into Pisces and Virgo. Where was the sun and moon during this eclipse? Pisces and Virgo. Ta-da!
That makes a lot of sense.
Yay.
Our sun center from a black hole.
I had never heard of the Black Hole Center, but that might be the Vedic part that I stay away from.
Well, I've often wondered, about a decade or so ago, Swedish scientists decided to make a microscopic black hole in a lab. Everybody was concerned that the whole planet might get sucked into it. It might be the end of the world. Just kind of happened, and nothing really happened. But then the world that we live in now happened.
That's all I'm saying. People need to leave shit alone.
Did we like slip into an alternate universe? Because this makes no damn sense.
You're talking about the same derivative of people who, when they see some shit in the woods, their first idea is to touch it. That's all I'm saying. Like, do you expect that much, really? Like,
Absolutely. I wonder if they're still trying to find the God particle. I thought they found it.
I thought they did too, and I thought they were trying to twink with it now and do all the shit. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, that's what they do. As soon as they find something, they gotta tweak it. I mean, they're talking about getting the last month or so. They're gonna clone a woolly mammoth.
Why? Why?
Exactly. I mean, did you not see Jurassic Park 1, 2, 3, and 8?
I'm not trying to have something that can fucking gore me like super easy. No, nah. See, I'm good.
Well, and they're trying to mix it with the elephant population in somewhere to make the elephants better able to survive drought conditions or some crap. They have some rationale. But yeah, it's fucking Jurassic Park.
This is what happens when you give scientists shrooms. This is what happens. You can't tell me no different. You can't tell me different. Like,
And I believe that they literally got DNA from a mosquito encased in amber for this. That's Jurassic Park. That's what they
feel you.
did.
I feel you on that.
Oh my God. What could possibly go wrong?
Their obsession is to become God. They want to be creators too, but they already are. We ain't gotta fuck with everything. Like, God didn't even do that. God knew, or the gods, whichever one you believe in, right? Because every religion's right. Man fucked them all up. So, like, you know what I mean? When it comes to creation, it says it in the Bible, we came from God. So we all have that capability, but even God knew to leave certain shit alone.
Okay, we got W.
How are you?
Hey. Hello.
You give a weird vibe.
I don't.
Okay, you gonna say something? You asked to come in the box.
Do, 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 do. I felt like Jeopardy music was appropriate.
Bye-bye. I keep letting people I don't know in.
I'm glad you let me in. I appreciate that. I promise my crazies contain the mental health alphabet letters, but I could keep that shit to myself.
Absolutely. Well, I figured at least that person had a decent amount of followers, maybe.
I believe in the devil. I totally believe that he's a man-made egregore that people encased with their own. Like, the devil is literally, to me, a reflection of all the travesty of man. I firmly believe that's an egregore humanity created, and I think they confused the devil for Lucifer. I mean, Lucifer, sure, he can adapt that sort of, persona, I'm sure, but he's also the light bringer, so he's just the one that lights a flashlight and goes, yeah, you're a little fucked up from the floor up like everybody else too, babe. That's what I think about the devil, but I could be terribly fucking wrong. It's happened before.
If you think of Satan as an egregore, and then look at how much information is fed to it, because that egregore is given all of the guilt of humanity. All of everybody's guilt is given to this egregore called Satan. So, as you said, I do not believe in Satan except as an egregore. And as that, it's absolutely powerful because it's a lot of energy to be given.
Agreed. And it totally makes sense why in the book of Revelations, this whole egregore entity is gonna destroy humanity in Armageddon or whatever the fuck you want to call it. That's because it's prophesying that man's gonna fucking kill themselves, which absolutely, we'll blow ourselves off the planet before Mother Earth ever will.
Well, as a student of warfare and history, the plains of Armageddon is where the Battle of Armageddon was supposed to be fought. This time, the plains of Armageddon is a worthless piece of fucking desert land that nobody would ever fight for in a million years. At the time the story was written, it was a crossroads from several, all the way to Persia. It was one of the like the Silk Road kind of thing. It was a really important piece of land for God, what's the word? Selling shit, basically commerce. It was really important. And several times in ancient history, the armies of the earth at the time met and fought over that piece of land. The revelations of the Jews were written for next week from their perspective, not 2,000 years later. The Battle of Armageddon happened. It happened several times. It would never happen again. It's a worthless piece of shit land.
Well, and I feel like I don't know shit about any of that, so thank you for educating me because I'm dumb as a doorknob when it comes to that information, so I learned something new today. Yay. But
I did too, so that's why we're here.
yay. But I've always had the theory when looking at the Bible, and this was even as a kid. So these people got this information from God. Well, I'm able to communicate with deities. I know a lot of people who are, and I know the one thing we have in common is we fuck up that line of communication at least once. We mishear something. I mean, deities don't speak English, most of them, so they communicate by energy, and I don't know if you've tried to read energy in this day and age, but it's pretty crazy out there. So these people who were getting this information from God, you can't tell me that they didn't fuck up a word, that they misheard some shit. So that's why I believe and firmly I use the Bible in my practice, because Appalachian roots line, I got a Hatfield that's a first cousin. So, we use the Bible more as a spell book and kind of like a loose guidebook, which basically includes don't be a dick to people. Try to like your person you're next to, and if you don't, try and be forgiving, but at the end of the day, Jesus flipped tables, so...
So you don't like the McCoys?
I actually have... Okay. I have no problem towards either one of them because I don't think I could even if I wanted to. So my cousin Sonny, which is a really sad story of why we need to practice good gun education in homes, because his sister thought a 45 was a water gun.
Oh Lord.
And so yeah, he's buried in the McCoy cemetery. But I have Hatfield relatives, and there's the Hager line, which came in and married one of them, but I don't know. I just know on my DNA test that there's a Hatfield that's a first cousin once removed. And my dad has raised me with a lot of Appalachian sort of ideals, so I just go with it the best I can.
Well, I had a great grandfather that was an Appalachian coal miner and a union organizer. Like I said in my most recent video, long history of union organizers. He was literally a wobbly.
Yeah. I mean, and so, yeah, no. I use the Bible in my practice. I firmly believe it as a loose translation of a guidebook because I don't think everybody who talked to God in that book actually talked to God. I think some of them did some drugs and thought they were talking to God because weed was readily available back in the day.
Yeah.
Um,
I think of it as a witch. The Bible is a story written in a symbolic language that people don't understand anymore, but a witch has been trained their whole lives to understand the symbology behind the language.
I feel
And
that.
somebody wanted to come in, but I don't see him now. I think a witch can understand the book much better. It's like all of the main characters in the Bible were planets and or stars.
Mm-hmm.
You put them back into their context of planet and or stars, you get a very different book. The Sumerians told this story of the formation of this solar system, and it was kind of like a pinball game of just molten masses slamming into each other and eventually reaching this equilibrium that we call orbits. But before that happened, there was a planet named Cain. And in this story, they said it this way. There was a planet called Abel that was on an elliptical orbit. And in the story of the Sumerians, they said Cain flung into this orbit and slayed his brother Abel. That was the story the Sumerians told. Now, when you get to the Bible, those are two people. Now, in the Sumerian tale, Cain slays Abel, and they tell us right where Abel was sitting in the solar system and destroys it utterly, turning it into an asteroid belt. And then Cain flings off into the outer space. We don't even know if it's ever going to come back again. But right where they said that happened, we have an asteroid belt.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way the Sumerians could know. We didn't have telescopes yet. They had a wealth of knowledge of the solar system and the universe that was way beyond their pay grade.
I firmly agree, and that's where the start of astrology as we know it now comes from, with Sumerian, aka Babylonian astrology.
Absolutely. But all kinds of things, like an ancient symbol for knowledge was the snake. And we see that in ancient language, and the Bible picked up on that too.
Mm-hmm.
You got the snake that's actually hanging out around the tree of knowledge. So if you actually read the story, the snake said, if you eat of this fruit, you will gain the knowledge of good and evil and of your own existence. Jehovah said, if you eat of this fruit, you're going to perish. They ate of the fruit, gained the knowledge of good and evil and of their own existence, realized they were naked, and covered themselves up. And
Yep. My mama was a Jehovah's Witness, so when you use Jehovah, I was like, ooh, he knows something.
And so they covered themselves up, and I guess, Jehovah is like a peeper or something, so he had a problem with them, not being able to see them naked. But ultimately, the snake told the truth, and Jehovah lied.
Mm-hmm.
There's your origin story right there. We got a lying God and a snake that's telling the truth.
Well, and here's the thing. Here's an interesting theory that I have heard. And okay, so with this one, it's generally a theory because the information that I've heard about it, I still question a little bit, but it's from like the books of Enoch and all of that, talking about Soklos and Nebros. And I haven't done enough research in it, so that's why I say it's a theory, because I don't know exactly where I stand on the books of Enoch yet, but their theory does kind of fit. I mean, we see the Christian deity now as a war and storm deity. Noah's Ark and Sodom and Gomorrah confirm that. But like, it would make sense if the actual deity who we thought was the Christian deity and the one described as loving, as in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, something like that. What is love and all of that, but yet we have this deity who, on another hand, can smite a city just because, they wouldn't let the one to let two angels do dirty things to daughters and shit.
Absolutely. Okay, I should probably go. It's been a good couple hours. It takes forever to upload these things.
Okay.
Well, good to hang out with you there. Spiritually, I don't know. Wait, what is your rest?
Spiritually Southern Mama.
Southern Mama. I'm following you now. So
Thank you. I do astrology reports every day.
Oh, cool.
Thank you for talking to me, and thank you for letting me on your live. I'm truly honored and humbled that you let me share your space with you today. And thank you for teaching me something. I really appreciate it.
Great. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for teaching me something.
You're welcome.
Any day I can learn something is a good day.
Me too.
All
Bye.
right, bye. Bye, y'all.